Hi guys, Gareth here from Heartfelt Horsemanship. I have recently joined TikTok and it's loads of fun, and really is just another social media outlet that's more light-hearted. But one of the things that I've seen on there from the horse perspective is a lot of techniques that I thought had pretty much stopped as people's education has improved. But there are still some things that are going on that I just want to clarify that we don't do. I don't want to judge anyone. It's, you know, some of them are straightforward appalling, and I don't mind voicing an opinion on those. Some of them are maybe not as bad, but it's definitely not what we do. Now, one of the big ones that we see, what I've seen on TikTok, is the teaching a horse to tie, methods for teaching a horse to tie. You see what people call a patience pole, when people take the horse, have a pole in the middle of the arena, cemented to the ground, and they'll tie them up there and just leave them to fight and eventually give to the halter. Other variances of this I've seen in South Africa is people will take two horses or a horse and a donkey and tie them together and just leave them to eventually learn to give to the halter and figure it out. What happens with that is a process called learned helplessness. So they will fight and fight and fight and fight, and eventually nothing they do with the fighting results in any release, so they give up. Now that is not really what we want with a horse that we want to have communication and relationship with. We want a horse to understand our communication in terms of what the halter means. When they have learned to give to the halter through learned helplessness, it's just an absolute surrender. Now the problem with that is you often get horses that become very shut down. Now, a shut down horse sometimes gives the impression of being bomb-proof, you know, very calm, relaxed. But you won't be able to get much out of them most of the time, and they all have a threshold at some point that they're going to blow, and they're going to blow big. So with both the patience pole and with the tying to another horse, you don't have any of the psychology behind how horses learn at play. Horses learn that when there is a pressure, so if I were to pick up and put a slight pressure, when there is a pressure, if whatever they do that gets a release of that pressure is the right thing. So the release of the pressure teaches them that they did the right thing. That is how they learn in nature. Yes, there are other ways that they learn. They can learn through reward as well, with positive reinforcement, or a combination of the two. Now, when you've tied them to another horse, that other horse doesn't know when to, it's in the exact same situation, or even if it's a more advanced horse, it doesn't know to give release when the horse does the right thing. And to a patience pole, the horse is going to thrash around, besides the dangers of possibly, you know, breaking a bone when it throws itself on the ground and gets its neck caught. You're also not giving the opportunity for a horse to learn when is the right thing to do, because no matter what it does, that pressure never goes away. So that is my first reasoning behind it. I want communication, that when I do this, it means bring your head over here, okay? Then I give a release. When I pick up, it means bring your head over here. If I pick up straight back, it means back up. And when I pick up here, it means come forward. Okay, so I want to be building communication and language. The other aspect is, of course, relationship. As we're building communication with a horse, we are building relationship. Tying them to a pole in the middle of a round pen, or tying them to another horse and leaving them to it, doesn't give you any opportunity to build relationship with a horse. So I'm on a big kick at the moment of not knocking what other people do, but promoting what we do. And I think you get far more out of it if you build communication and relationship in everything you do with your horse. Then by the time you're getting on them, you have not just get on and start teaching them what you need for riding, you've already got a relationship and some communication in place. And each of these things that we're teaching them, when I teach a horse to back up, are things that apply directly to my riding. So that wasted time that you've tied your horse to a pole and made it feel terrible and terrified, could have been used in building things that are going to help for your riding. Now, we do tie our horses. Once they know to yield from all the cues, we will happily tie our horses because they understand what this means through communication. But when we tie, I will not tie a knot. I'll tie it. Let me come this side so he doesn't think he needs to put his head that side. Okay. Instead of tying a knot, okay, so instead of tying a knot, I will just do three loose wraps. Make sure it's short enough that he doesn't try and put his head down and get his foot caught and get himself in trouble. Now, it's worthwhile to always assume that you might have something come along and bother the horse. And I won't leave my horse unattended for that reason when it's tired. If I'm doing something else and I see danger on the horizon, or he starts thrashing, I can come along, he can't tighten this, and I can just unravel and he can get away. Now Cherokee stands very well tied, and we haven't done a lot of practice with this, but because he understands the communication of giving to the halter, I can introduce this without too many qualms. Great guys, if you can give a like and share on this video, get our reach up, help us make the world a better place for horses and the humans. And then if you have any other topics you would like us to cover, how we approach different things that you've seen, maybe you're not sure about something and you want to know our thoughts on it, we're happy to make YouTube videos about it. Thanks guys.